Hi, I'm Megan. Let's keep this case brief. My Crim Pro exam is tomorrow, so let's do United States versus Armstrong. Do you remember talking about selective prosecution? That's another one of these cases. So Armstrong is arrested because he would like to possess some certain materials, and he would also like to sell some pew-pews. Keep in mind that Armstrong is a black man, and as we all know, black men tend to be charged with these crimes more often than other demographics of people. And Armstrong fights his indictment and he motions to dismiss because he's saying that the prosecution was selective, that they selected him for prosecution because of his race. However, the thing in this case is that Armstrong doesn't exactly support his point too well. However, Armstrong doesn't come prepared for his case. Instead, he comes to court with this quote-unquote study of 24 different cases that have the same charge as him, and all of the defendants are black men. And the judge, looking over this case, kind of looks at this study and then goes back to the prosecutor and says, okay, I want you to back up your claim that this is not true. I want you to find me all the criteria you have on these certain charges, who you decided to charge, and why you decided to charge those people with the charges that you brought. And the prosecutor comes back with a really strong case and a lot of evidence as to why these 21 cases that Armstrong has brought in this study don't exactly help to back up his claim. In fact, the prosecution comes in with an affidavit from a treatment center employee who says there are as many white people in our treatment center as there are black people. The prosecution also brings in this kind of nifty article that shows that black men who are prosecuted for this certain charge are prosecuted more severely than if they had been punished with the powdery substance of the same charge. Despite the prosecution bringing all of this evidence, Armstrong actually goes free and he wins his case, but the government and the prosecutor can't give up that easily, so it goes all the way to SCOTUS. And so the question that SCOTUS kind of has to debate here is, do you have to prove in a selective prosecution case that the government had a discriminatory purpose and that similar individuals from different races aren't being prosecuted for the same thing that this particular person is? And the short answer, yes, you do have to prove those things. Do you remember talking about discriminatory purpose and discriminatory effect? That's exactly what they're talking here. Here, SCOTUS says that the prosecution did their job, and all they had to do was prove that there was no discriminatory purpose, and they won their case. And SCOTUS hits Armstrong with this kind of reply that you didn't need to just prove that there were other black men who were being charged with the same crime as you. You need to prove not only are people of other races either not being prosecuted for this, but they're being prosecuted for the same charge as you, and they're being given lighter sentences than you. Armstrong's study failed to identify individuals who weren't black and could have been prosecuted for his particular crime. That I dare not say in order to appease the TikTok god. So again, selective prosecution is a really hard thing to prove. You need to prove that there is a discriminatory purpose and there's a discriminatory effect because of the selective prosecution of choosing you based on some category of your identity. It's a big uphill battle, but Armstrong actually managed to do it for a little bit. And if this case teaches you anything, don't just have one study, have a couple.